Robert Bruce's March to Bannockburn by Robert Burns. The Battle of Bannockburn happened in 1314, battle for Scottish independence against Edward II of England. This is Bruce's address to his army, which is another of Burns's titles for it. And this is a different text than you might be used to hearing, and I think a better one, and I'll tell you about it after I sing it. Scots wha hae wi Wallace bled, Scots wham Bruce has aften led. Welcome to your gory bed, hearty victorie. Now's the day and now's the hour, see approach proud Edward's power. Sharply maun we bide the stoure, either they or we. Wha will be a traitor knave, wha can fill a coward's grave? Wha say base as be a slave, let him turn and flee. Wha for Scotland's king and law, freedom's sword will strongly draw. Free man stand or free man fall, let him follow me. Do you hear your children cry? Were we born in chains to lie? No come death or liberty, yes, they shall be free. Lay the proud usurpers low, tyrants fall in every foe, liberty's in every blow, let us do our deed. Scots wha hae, Scots who have with Wallace bled. So we have two verses that are different from the standard version, which is one that he sent to his second publisher, George Thompson. Often Burns's earlier drafts are better than the ones he submitted to his publishers. Man was made to mourn in the commonplace book is a much better lyric than the one he published in his poems. I don't know why. So I'll go over the two verses that are different. First is the second verse. Our version has, now's the day and now's the hour, see approach proud Edward's power, sharply maun we bide the stoure. Those all might be Usurpers and stoure and Scots, either they or we. So sharply must we bide the strife or a storm of dust. The other text has, now's the day and now's the hour, see the front of battle lower, see approach proud Edward's power, chains and slavery. Those are a push, those two, but look at this. The one I sang is, do you hear your children cry? Were we born in chains to lie? No, come death or liberty, yes, they shall be free. The familiar version is, by oppression's woes and pains, by your sons in servile chains, we will drain our dearest veins, but they shall be free. What are servile chains? I don't know. That is really pretentious and not likely to inspire a soldier. So, what else have we here? That tune, Hey Tooty Tatey, I took the set from William McGibbon Scott's tunes. It was considered to be Robert Bruce's marching music to take his troops into battle. Whether it was or not, that was the common thought. Burns wrote to David Erskine, Earl of Buchan, January 12, 1794. Independent of my enthusiasm as a Scotchman, I have rarely read with anything in history which interests my feelings as a man equally with the story of Bannockburn. On the one hand, a cruel but able usurper, leading on the finest army in Europe to extinguish the last spark of freedom among a greatly daring and greatly injured people. On the other hand, the desperate relics of a gallant nation devoting themselves to rescue their bleeding country or perish with her. Liberty, thou art a prize truly and indeed invaluable, for never canst thou be too dearly bought. Burns was proud of this, sent it to different newspapers and to friends, and he had different titles. Scots Musical Museum has it as Bruce's address to his army. Letter to Francis Dunlop calls it Bruce's speech to his troops. The Rosenbach manuscript has Bannockburn, Bruce to his troops. The Writers' Museum manuscript includes a note to Dr. Hughes, has it as Bruce's address to his troops at Bannockburn, perhaps the best title. One more bit of information that's important is a further note to his second publisher, George Thompson. N.B. I have borrowed the last stanza from the common stall edition of Wallace. That's Blind Harry's Life of William Wallace. A false usurper sinks in every foe, and liberty returns with every blow. Burns calls this a couplet worthy of Homer. So the world has decided to call this Scots Wahey, which means Scots who have. And by that measure, we should call Woodstock by Joni Mitchell I Came Upon, and we should call The Sounds of Silence Hello Darkness My. We should call Hello in There by John Prine I Had an Apartment, and so on. An author's titles are part of the work. The name of this song is not Scots Wahey, or worse, Scots Wayhay, okay? I'm going to do, I think, a video on the replacing of Burns's titles and the ignoring of them by his editors who should know better. That's it. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this version of the song. Maybe you'll want to sing it.